Hello. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Okay, good evening, everyone. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes,
Uh,
yes, ma'am.
yes,
Good
ma'am.
evening.
We can hear you.
Good
Good evening.
evening.
Good evening, good evening. Okay, so let's start for the day. Okay, so in the previous class, we had started related to IP addressing. Okay, so yes, tell me how many bits is the IP addressing made up of? Quickly, everyone. How many bits?
32.
32.
32, but for which one? For version 4. Okay, for version 6,
128.
128. It belongs to which layer?
Network layer.
Network layer. Okay, and what does the slash indicates? The slash number indicates.
Subnet mask.
Subnet
Mask
mask.
bit.
Name of slash is known as which mask? Subnet mask or prefix mask? Prefix mask. Okay, if I'm writing slash something, then it is known as prefix mask. If I write in terms of 255 dot something, then it becomes the subnet mask. Okay, they are actually indicating the subnet, but we say it like it is a prefix mask and that is a subnet mask. Okay, if I say slash 25, so how many bits on the network side and how many host bits?
25 bits on network side
25.
and
Yeah.
7 bits
Very
on
good.
host.
Okay, so if I say slash 25, so 25 bits on the network side. So network side start from left to right.
Light.
And the remaining bits, okay, and the remaining bits 32 minus 25, which is 7 bits, which are there for the host. Okay, okay. So if I say slash 25, so can you convert that into a proper subnet mask?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, guys. Slash 25 means what would be my subnet mask?
255 dot
So
255
the
dot.
first three octets, anyways, it's 24, all ones. So what would be
Yeah.
the first three values? First three octets. Very good, Kaustubh. Even Naresh, right? So it is 255.255.255, and then the last octet has only one because you have taken one bit from the last octet and the remaining all 24 bits from the first three octets. So first stands for 2 raised to 7, which is 128. That's very good. Okay. So I see most of you could answer this thing. And later on, we understood the different classes of IP addressing. We understood the meaning why we have different classes and based on the standards. So whether this is classful IP addressing or classless IP addressing,
Classful.
classful addressing. Because if you have a standard mask which is defined, if I am using a class A address with the standard /8 prefix mask. That means if my first octet is having the value in the range of 1 to 126 and followed by that if I have /8, that means I am using a classful addressing. So there was an issue with the classful addressing. We see that irrespective of if I just take class A, if I assign somebody a class A address, so I see how many number of hosts I get for per subnet, okay, 2 raised to 24 hosts per subnet. However, if my requirement is only of 100 hosts or 200 hosts, so there was something related to wastage of IP addresses. So that's why classful IP addressing is not preferred much. We go for a classless IP addressing where I can utilize my IP addressing effectively based on if I have any kind of percentage growth in my adding up my branches, adding up my host. So based on that, I have more flexibility when I go for a classless IP addressing. We also understood the reason of multicast purpose and research purpose. These IP addresses will not be configured in our devices. These are purely kept reserved. Okay, this is not used for configuration purpose. And then we saw that this last the three ranges of IP addresses, these are the private range or private IP addresses. In interviews, if you are asked that tell us what are the different IP addresses, okay, so you should know that from one we have from class A, that is from 10.0.0.0 to 10.255.255.255. Okay, then one we have it from class B, okay, that is 172.16.0.0 only up to 172.31.255.255. So you have to be very careful for class B. And then one we have it from class C, which is starting from 192.168.0.0 up till 192.168.255.255. So these are the three ranges of private IP addresses which can be reused by any of the organization to design their own campus LAN network. Okay, so when they want to design their LAN network, they can make use of any of these IP addresses based on their requirements. Okay, and then the last thing, which was 127, is an IP address which is again reserved for the loopback. Okay, this is known as a loopback address. It is used for testing purposes. It is used by the developers, software developers, to test their code. Okay, so this is purely kept for testing purposes for the developers. This cannot be again configured by our for our devices. Okay, so now moving forward, in what today we are going to do is, just a minute. Okay, so I see that we have understood all these things. So this was again just a part of it, that if I have /31, so network bits are 31, remaining one host bits, so number of hosts is 2^1. If I have /30, so this is something which is very common in use. Okay, so we can remember this /31, 31 bits, so remaining one, so I have 2^1 host. /30 means I have 30 bits on the network side, so remaining 2 on the host, so 2^2. Okay, so this is something again we have discussed in the last class. So today purely we are going to start with the concept of subnetting, a very, very important concept, and please pay attention to that. If anyone has any doubts, I'll take it later, but first listen to me carefully. Okay, so let's start with the day 5. I've already shared this document with Sagar. He might share you with on WhatsApp. Okay, this document of entire 3-4 days, whatever we have completed, that's completely shared with Sagar. Okay, so let's start with the today's concept related to subnetting. Okay, now why do we need subnetting? That is another good question which normally people ask, or you will be asked in your interviews. So anybody who can give me a enough idea to tell me, like, why do we need subnetting? Anyone?
Break down the network, like to break it down to smaller networks, right?
Sorry, I could not hear you clearly.
I said to break it down to a smaller network.
To break it into small networks. Okay. Any other reason?
Wasting of IPv4, to avoid wasting of IPv4 addresses which are limited.
Okay. Okay. To avoid wasting. Okay. But I need some more accurate answers. These are there, but there is something which is more important to understand. Something more. You are very close. Can you think more on this? Like why we need subnetting apart from dividing our big LAN network into a small, or a big network into a small networks, or utilizing the IP addresses effectively. One other common reason why I can say I use subnetting is because my router, which is placed in the network layer, is supposed to route between the networks. So it will route between different networks, and different networks means you're trying to do subnetting. If you create different subnets, then only you will be able to have router effectively doing its job. If there are no networks, if you cannot create networks, okay, then what is the purpose of having a router? Okay, since you need a router which should do the job of forwarding your packet in between the networks, you need subnetting. Okay, this is something which is more, which is normally overlooked. We don't look in this perspective, that router needs at each of its interface, this thing which we have understood in the last class also. I must have mentioned you that if I have a router, and this router has, let's say, 8 interfaces. Okay, if it has 8 interfaces, or you can simply say that 8 interfaces or nothing but the ports, the physical ports. So if there are 8 interfaces which this router has, that means they should be 8 networks, 8 different networks. Okay, I have to say that, let's say this is subnet 1, subnet 2, subnet 3, subnet 4, subnet 5. So if I am able to do subnetting, that means I can have different networks which can be configured, or which the router will be able to, route between the networks. Okay, because at every interface we have to keep a different network. I cannot say that this whatever network I configure here, I can similarly go and take the same network and configure here. It will just say it's not my job. My job is that this network is different, you want to reach to another network, so that means you have to use me. For example, we also learned in the previous class about the network address. So if you remember, if I give you 10.10.10.10/8, and I give you, okay, if I give you 10.10.10.20/8, don't you think what will be the network address for this, for both the IPs? What is the network address? Can you calculate the network address? Do you remember what we have learned in the last class, the network address and the host address? /8 means only the first 8 bits are high, and the remaining bits or the next octets are all zeros, right? So how do we find the network address? We find the network address by ANDing it, or by doing a multiplication. So for this, what is the network address? It's 10 dot, because 10 into 1 is 1, 10, and then remainings are zeros.
0.
Similarly, if I go and calculate the network address, so I'm calculating the network address. Similarly, if I go and calculate this thing, so again for this, I come across with 10.0.0.0/8. So basically for the same, so these are the host addresses. So this host belongs to the same network. Okay, so likewise when a router, okay, when a router sees its address, okay, router is basically having network address in its routing table. Okay, router maintains a routing table, okay, and the routing table has the network address. Okay, by the looking at the network address, it understands that yes, they are different networks. So if I give you a network which is 10.10.10.10/8, and if I give you a network 20.10.10.10/8, we can simply calculate their network address and can identify that these two are different networks. This IP belongs to 10 network or 10.0.0.0 network, and this IP belongs to 20.0.0.0/8. So typically they are two different networks. So like the way we calculate the network address, even the router holds the network address in its routing table, and then it is able to forward the packet to the correct path. Okay, so for the purpose of doing routing between the networks, we also need subnetting. Otherwise it is not possible to just have it for the just for the sake of using it effectively. Other than that, we need for this purpose also. Okay, so you can add up this point whenever you're talking to anyone who is asking you this question in an interview. Okay, so okay, fine. So now let's move on with the concept of subnetting. I'll give you a scenario. Okay, since I reside in Mumbai, so I just give you a scenario whereby I have an office which is having this kind of setup. Okay, so I can simply say that I have a branch office in my BKC building, and I have some headquarters. Okay, my headquarters is at BKC, and I have my branches in Andheri, Mindspace, Nariman Point, and Vashi. Okay, so these are my branches, I can say. So if I am given an IP like this, okay, I have been allotted. Now I went to the provider, or I have been allotted this IP 16.20.20.0/24. Okay, now this IP has been allotted to me as a network engineer. Now how should I go ahead and give IP addresses to all my branches? Okay, I need to be effective. I need to be smart enough so that I don't waste the resources and I use it effectively. So when I have an IP address and have such a network, okay, so how should I go ahead? Okay, first and foremost, with /24, we can first calculate how many host bits we are getting. Okay, so first and foremost, how many host bits we are getting on this side? We are getting /24 means 24 is your network bits, and 32 minus 24, that is 8 bits on your host side. So that means maximum with this given IP address, I will be assigned 250 or I can maximum have 256 hosts, but that is not maximum. I'll tell you what is the maximum value. This is just for the sake of understanding. Now you will think one more thing you will see here. We have a /24, but what is the class of address which we are using? Can you identify the class of address from this, guys? Which class is this IP which we are given?
Class
Yes.
A.
Sorry, it's class A. Exactly, it's class A because you saw the first octet. The first octet is coming in the range of 1 to 126. You saw it is as class A. Now, what was the standard mask which was defined for class A? Standard subnet mask. What was that? /8.
255.0.0.
/8.
Right. So that was prefix mask /8, or I can simply say 255.0.0.0. So here we said that if my class A is using their standard mask, we said that it will be known as a classful IP addressing. Okay. However, if you can see here, now it is a class A address, but it is a class A address, no doubt on that, because we identify it from the first octet. But yes, this is not with the standard mask. It is other than the standard mask. Okay. So if you have other than the standard mask, now we cannot go below that. It's very obvious. However, if it is other than the standard mask, we say that this range belongs to classless IP addressing. Okay. So if you're given a class and it is not with the standard given mask, then you should say that it is basically a classless IP addressing. Okay, so this IP addressing is nothing but a classless. Now, as an engineer, I got this requirement and I have given this IP. So I can design my network looking at two perspectives. Okay, based on the network perspective or based on the host perspective. So based on host, you're asked to design, or based on networks, you're asked to design. So this is very specific. When you are given a question, they may give you, or they may ask you that I have a requirement of so many networks, or I have a requirement of so many hosts. Okay. This is how they may say the question. So I can design it from network perspective or from the host perspective. Now let us understand one by one from network perspective as well as from the host perspective. So first and foremost, you have to tell me, how many networks do I have in the given scenario? How many networks I have? Now we are going to discuss first from network perspective. Okay. So how many networks we have? Come on, quickly tell me, guys, how many networks? I'm not talking about network bits now. I'm talking about networks. How many networks do we have in this net? Because you can see how many routers we have. A router is given by a symbol, simply a cross sign. Okay, this is your router. So can you just tell me how many networks are we connected to? Kaustubh is saying 5. Romil is also saying 5. Are you sure we are having only 5 networks in the given scenario? Just check out. Every router is connected to a different networks. This is something which I just said.
2 raised to 24 networks.
No. 24 bits are on the network side. I'm talking about the number of networks currently this scenario has. According to the picture, how many networks can I see from the scenario? Also, we know the fact that every router is connected to a different network. Now, I have already given you the answer that every router is connected on a different network. So based on that, can you calculate and tell me how many networks we have here? Number of networks. I'm talking about number of networks.
5 neighbors.
Right?
Sorry?
5. There are like 5 routers, so it's a different 5 networks.
Okay, no, 5 networks. How it could be 5 networks? Every router has different network on its interface. Different network. Every router, whatever interfaces I have.
Okay, I got it. I understood now.
Right? Naresh has come across some close answer. Naresh is saying 9. Guys, you people agree with Naresh? He says 9. Kaustubh is saying 10. See, if I take this router, I see that there is one network going towards this side to the host, and the other network which it is going is towards this BKC branch. So I see there are 2 networks on this side.
I think it's 8.
It's right. Okay. So again, from this part, from the Mindspace branch, I see 1 network on this side, 1 on this side, means total 2. Again, here I see total 2. Again, over here I see total 2. And then one is going upward. Okay, so I add up everyone now. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. So I find 9. Now let's say this is something which this part is not there to look after. So at present, at least not 9. So I can see there are 8 networks from the BKC towards the other branches. Okay, I'm not going above the BKC to the internet provider or somewhere else. Okay, so at present, from my headquarters to all the branches, I see that maximum I have 8 networks. Is it clear, guys? Everyone can understand how many networks we have. This is very important to identify, that how many networks are there in the given scenario. So every interface on the router has or is connected to a different network. So if it has 2 interfaces, that means there are 2 networks which are there. So we have now understood that we have the networks. According to the networks, if I go and design, I see that there are 8 networks in my scenario. Now I need to understand, to represent number 8 or decimal value 8, how many bits I would require. Okay, how many bits I would require for representing 8 value 8 or a decimal value 8. How many bits I would require, guys?
3.
3 bits. Everyone agree, right? We need only 3 bits because with 3 bits, we have 2 raised to 3, which is 8. Now, this was something which was discussed in the previous class related to conversion from binary to decimal or decimal to binary. So for 8 networks with 3 bits, I can have maximum 8 value. So they have given me /24. So what I have to now see that with /24, and I am asked to do subnetting. Okay, I'm asked to do the subnetting. So what I would do is, since I know that with 3 bits I get 8 networks, I'll just add 3 with the given mask. Okay, to the given subnet mask or to the given prefix mask, I'll add 3. So that will result into /27. Okay, whatever was given to me, in that I have added my network bits as per my calculation. I find 8 networks, and for 8 networks, 3 bits is sufficient enough. So I just go and add 3 into the given mask. So now it becomes /27. So now calculate how many hosts I will have. So now 8 networks were there. Now I need to understand in each network, in each of these network or subnet 0, we start subnetting numbering from 0. Subnet 0, subnet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are the number of networks which I have. So each network will have how many hosts? Now this is something which we have to say. So now the slash is 27. Okay. Since now the slash is 27, what will be the number of host bits which are left in this /27? What are the number of host bits which we have? 5 host bits, right? So 32 minus 27, which is 5. So now how many hosts I can represent with 5 bits? How many hosts I will be able to represent with 5 bits? Very good, very good. Those are answering, that's really good. Okay, so with 5 bits, I have 2 raised to 5, which is 32 hosts. That means in each of these subnets, I will have 32 hosts, 32, 32, 32, 32, 32 hosts, 32 hosts. So I'll have 32 hosts. I cannot say host. I can simply say that 32 IP addresses are belonging to the subnet. Now, how many number of hosts we have maximum, that we'll discuss later. So 32 IP addresses are there in each of this subnet, because you can go and calculate 32 into 8 is how much we have, 256. And that's what we were saying, maximum we can have 256 hosts. Okay, is it clear, guys? Is this part clear?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question, please, if possible.
Yeah,
You
sure.
say, like, we have 4 networks here, but why did you exclude BKC? Because BKC itself can be a network as well.
No, I haven't excluded the networks which are there over this side. Now, above that, I have excluded as of now because I don't know what is connected over here. So I'm just considering that I am only taking the network design from my headquarter to all my other branches.
Okay, clear. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So understanding this, we understood now there are 8 networks and each network has 32 hosts. So let's start designing now. Okay, guys, let's start designing. I'll just take my whiteboard and we'll start writing down the subnets. Okay, so we were given 16.20. What was that? 16.20 sorry. Yeah. So we were given 16.20.20.0/24. Okay. So now let's start writing down the subnets. So this was given to us. Now we have changed it to 16.20.20.0/27 because for 8 networks we required only 3 bits. So my IP addressing will start from here. Okay, my subnet 0. I'll say that my subnet 0, the IP address will start from 16.20.20.0/27 to, we have just calculated that with remaining 5 bits, 32 minus 27, 5 host bits. Okay, I have got 2⁵, that is 32 hosts in each network. So if I'm starting with 0, so that means till where I can go in the first subnet, I can have only 32 hosts in each network. So 16.20.20.31, because I started with 0, I didn't start with 1, so I cannot say 32. I started with 0, so it will have maximum till 31. So this total makes of 32 IP address. This is 32 IP addresses from 0 to 31. Now we'll go with the subnet 1. Can you tell me what will the subnet 1 start from?
32
16.
to 63.
Right. 32/27 till you will add 31 now, because 32 is inclusive. You will just add 31. So you will have 16.20.20.63/27. This becomes my subnet 1. Then we'll add subnet 2, which will start from 16.20. Next number, .63. That means we'll start with .64. And then you'll just add 31 now. So that will become 16.20.20. How much? We'll have it as 31 if you're adding up. So that will turn out to be 95. Similarly, we'll go on till subnet number 7. We can go and write 16.20.20.96/27 till 16.20.20.31 means I'll add 127. Subnet 4, 16.20.20.128/127 to 16.20.20. Adding up 31, that makes up how much? 159. Is it right? /27. Subnet 5 now would be how much? It would be 16.20.20.160/27 till 16.20.20.191/27. Okay. Okay. So we are understanding now how we are giving the IP, or we are making the subnets. So once we make the subnets, we can now go and assign the IP from each of these to our host. Now, which IP can I assign from this given subnets to the host? What we have to understand that this first address is going to be our network address. Okay, so that address will be taken care, or will be taken by my router. Okay, so this address, network address, and the last one, which is the broadcast address, this will be taken up by the router itself. So as soon as you go and decide this IP, by default, it will take this as as the network and the broadcast address. Okay, so the router will take it for itself. So you cannot use this 16.20.20.0 and 16.20.20.31 to be configured on your computer or on your interface. Because when you are saying that you're configuring the IP address for a specific interface on a router, you are basically saying that it is a host address. It is acting like a host. Even a PC is connected to this is acting like a host. But in its routing table, it maintains the network address information. So you cannot go and configure a network address on the port or on the client or on the PC. Okay. So likewise, in every subnet, the first address is the network address, and the last one, what we have written, is the broadcast address. So basically, out of 32, how many are you can use, or how many we can use
30.
it as, we can only use host as 30
30.
hosts. Okay, only 30 IP addresses which are there in between can be used to configure on the host. Okay, this is important to understand. So anytime whenever you're given a host requirement of 32 or 30, likewise, you need to understand that if they are giving us a requirement of 32 hosts, that means these are the actual hosts. And whenever I'm doing subnetting, I need two more addresses, one for network and one for broadcast. So my actual IP address requirement is 32 plus 2, which is 34. This is how we calculate. Okay, we just don't go by this, by the way of, okay, only 32 host requirement, so I need only 32 IP address. We don't go that way. We see that when we are subnetting it, the first and the last address in the specific subnet is not used for configuration purpose. It is only used by the routers for its own purpose when it wants to broadcast or when it wants to find the route for any other network. So these two addresses cannot be used for configuration. So if I just give 32 host requirement, that means 2 will be automatically taken. So my actual requirement will then go down. So if there is 32 hosts which they have specified, then you need to actually consider 32 plus 2, that is 34. If they give you 64 host requirement, then again in that case you have to understand that this is the actual host, and one will be required for network and one will be required for broadcast. So I have to add up two, and actually I need this many IP addresses. Okay, so the number of IP addresses and the number of hosts, they are two different things. Okay, because IP addresses, when we are talking, it includes host addresses, it includes network addresses, it includes broadcast addresses. So something which has now come up into picture. In the previous class, we have only talked about network address and host address. And this class, we understood that there is something also known as broadcast address. So whenever a route information or something has to be broadcasted by the router to all other routers, then it uses those IPs. So it is kept reserved for the routers. Okay. And this is very much useful in exams. They may ask you, what is the network address of the last second subnet? What is the broadcast address of the last second network? Which is the valid IP address? Okay, because if somebody asks me 16.20.20.0, is it a IP host address or a network address or a broadcast address? Those kind of questions may also come, where I'm just given an IP and I'm asked whether it is a network address of the subnet or a host address of the subnet or a broadcast address of the subnet. So I should be able to see, if you see there's a pattern involved over here, a very beautiful pattern. Whatever host we have found, 32 hosts we have found, my network address is a multiple of that. Okay, 0 into 32, 1 into 32, 2 into 32, 3 into 32, 4 into 32, 5 into 32. So this is something very beautiful, that if you understand that you have so many hosts in that network, so the network address is a multiple of that many number of hosts. Okay, so this is something very interesting. Like even if I'm given an IP like this, okay, and I'm asked whether this IP is a host address or a network address, I can just calculate how many number of bits are there on the host side. From that, I will calculate the number of hosts and then try dividing that number 32, which is the last octet. So we are going to take those examples also later on. As of now, don't get confused. I'll teach you how to identify the network address, broadcast address, and the host address. So from the network perspective, now we have designed all the subnets. We have understood how many host addresses are there in each of the subnets. And now I can go and assign those IPs to my network. So all the requirement is being satisfied now. Okay. So looking at this, okay, is my screen visible, guys, now? My presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now once I have understood from network side that this many networks was there and I have configured this, I purposely had written on the whiteboard because I wanted you people also to do it along with me. Because if I just show it on the presentation, it becomes very easy just to go look at one shot. So we just wrote it. That is how you are also going to calculate it whenever a question is being given to you. So I just did the same thing. After getting it from the network perspective, I just wrote how many networks I have and how many IP addresses I can give it. Okay. So from the network perspective, you see that these are the IP addresses which I can assign to the hosts which are there in Andheri to the Mindspace. So I'll take one subnet and give it to, okay, just a minute. What happened here? Yeah, I take one subnet and give it to this Andheri branch. I give another subnet and give it to this Mindspace. I take another subnet and give it to the Nariman point. Another subnet, give it to Vashi point. Okay. Now this is there. I'm talking about this host side. Okay. Now this side is also remaining. So one will go again to the this part. Then another will go to this part. Likewise, all the 8 networks are now utilized. Okay, whatever 8 networks we have designed. So now every interface or every one is into different networks. So there was only one IP and we did subnetting, and now everyone are under different networks because everyone has a different network address. So we say that we have different subnets. All right.
Ma'am,
So now, yeah.
yeah, further we can divide this /27 into more specific one, right?
Exactly. Why? Because you see there is a wastage of resources again, because here the requirement is not of 30 or 32. Here we see the requirement is only 2 addresses. These are serial links. Okay. And on serial links, we need only 2 host address. One to configure here and the other to configure here. Plus we will take 2 because we know that there is a network and the broadcast address which comes into picture. So there is actually only 4 IP address requirement over the serial links. And what are the serial links? When we are talking on WAN, okay, when we talk about a WAN network, now this is a kind of a WAN network because we are not geographically located in the same region. WAN or a MAN network, anything you can say. Okay, we are in the same metropolitan city, so we can say we are on a MAN network. Okay, so when you're on a MAN or a WAN network, you're no more in the Ethernet technology. Okay, we are not using Ethernet. Ethernet is used everywhere over here. Okay, everywhere over here we are using Ethernet. All we are connecting to a fast Ethernet port or a gigabit Ethernet port. However, when we are connecting on a MAN or a WAN, the serial link technology is generally used. Okay, this technology doesn't require, this is different than the Ethernet technology. Now, as of now, you can just remember that over on a LAN network, we are working with Ethernet as a technology, and over a MAN or a WAN network, we are working with serial technology. The communication is serial, and hence the requirement of IP addresses are not much, since we have only 2 host addresses which will be configured on the router interface and 2 more addresses which will be required for the network and the broadcast. So in each of the links, the requirement is only for 444. So if I have assigned one of these subnets to this, so basically I'm wasting 32 minus 4 addresses in each of the links. So for my future expansion of the branch, I have not kept any network. Okay, I just said that, okay, only for now at present scenario, I have this many branches, but when I have to scale up, okay, when I have to scale up, then I have no subnets which I have kept for my future. Okay, there will be requirement that they may say that there is 100% growth of your organization. So if there is 100% growth, that means it's going to double. Okay, 100% growth. So at present, if I have 8 networks, I will say that 8 more networks will be added in the next 5 years. Or I may say that 40% of the host requirement will increase. So maximum host requirement. So according to this, if my maximum host, I see that I find it in Vashi, which has 30 hosts which are there. So 40% of that I will calculate, and I will see that maximum how many number of hosts I will have in the near future. So that part is not taken care over here. So that this kind of design is known as the fixed length subnetting. Okay, this is something important. When we have to take all the networks, they're of same length, okay, /27. All my subnets are of the same length. So they are considered as fixed length subnetting. And the disadvantage of this fixed length is that I may not utilize again the addresses effectively if the requirement is of only 12 or if requirement is of only 2 or 4, but still I'm giving those ranges of IP addresses. So in this case, fixed length subnetting is not a good idea. So what is a good idea? The good idea is to have a variable length subnetting. That means for the same network design, okay, if I can design one of my subnet, I can take and change this slash mask from 27 to some other slash marks. Now, just for example, we just understood that there was a requirement of 8 networks. So we went and calculated 3 bits, which is required for 8 networks, and we did this calculation. Now from the host perspective, we are left to design. Okay, now let's see from the host perspective, how do we calculate? From the host perspective, from the given scenario, we have to first identify which branch has the maximum number of hosts. We always take up the maximum number. So according to this, the maximum number is 30. And 30 hosts they have mentioned. So I have to consider plus 2 because as I just mentioned, we need one for network and one for broadcast. So whatever is given to me, I will add, and every time I'm going to add 2. And this is my actual requirement from host perspective. Okay, from the host perspective, we always go with the maximum host requirement and then we add up the network and the broadcast address. Now from the 32 bits or 32 host, we have to go and calculate in the reverse manner that for 32 host, how many bits I would require. Okay, for 32 host, how many bits I would require, guys? I'll require 5 bits. Okay, everyone is clear? We'll require how many bits for 32 host? I added 30 plus 2. So for 32 host, I require only 5 bits to represent because 2 raised to 5 is 32. So if I require only 32 host, if I require only 5 bits on the host side, so now again I can go and calculate that 32 minus 5 is how much? So 32 minus 5 comes out to be 27. So this comes on the network bits. Okay, so even if you go and do it from the host perspective side, you will again come down with the same table. What we have just drawn, we will come down with the same table for the host perspective side also. Now, this is not necessary that every time when we do it from the network and the host perspective, both the time it will come as same. Okay, at present for this scenario, you may find that this table, what we have written from network perspective or from the host perspective, that is this way, they both are looking the same because slash 32 or sorry, not slash 32, 32 host. So that means 5 bits on the network on the host side and the remaining 27 bits on the network side. So here it is coinciding that my subnetting from both host perspective and from the network perspective is coming down to the same, but this is not always which will be happening. Okay, don't go and verify, tally your answers that both the side it should come the same, not required. Okay, so now for the 2 links or for the 2 hosts, which we were talking for the serial links, we said that there will be only 2 host requirement on the serial links. So I can just go and do more subnetting and make it as a variable length subnetting. Okay, so with 2 hosts, I will again calculate 2 plus 2, which is nothing but 4. So to represent 4 hosts, how many bits are required, guys? With 4 hosts, I would require how many bits? Would require 3 bits. Naresh, are you sure? We should go with 3 bits for 4 hosts.
2 bits.
2 bits. With 2 bits, we have 2 raised to 2, which is 4. Okay, so I require only 2 bits on the host side. Okay, from the host side, I need only 2 bits. So how many bits are left now from the network side? 32 minus 2, which turns out to be 30 slash 30. So what I'm going to do now, I'll take this entire subnet with slash 27. Now I will try make it as slash 30. Okay, I will make it as slash 30. Can you guys tell me how many networks I can make with this one subnet now? Because now let's say I am given this IP, this has been allotted to me. This has been allotted to me with slash 27. That I'm designing it from host perspective, and from host perspective, I understood there is only requirement of 2 bits. So the remaining slash whatever we have given, okay, 27 was given to us. I added 3 bits on the network side. okay, so that I can get 30. So can you tell me how many networks now I will be able to design with this subnet? How many networks I will be having it? Yes, Renan, he says 8 networks, right? That's very good. Because now see, this is also very interesting. How many networks I have from the given mass I can say. Now this was already given to me /27. So you don't need to now go and check the network 2 raised to 27 or something like that. You will just see how many bits you are adding to that network bits. And for that, you will say that if you are adding 3 bits, that means you are saying that maximum you are having in this 8 networks you can design from the given IP or from the given subnet. Okay. So in that we have 8 networks, and in 8 networks I will have 4 hosts. So that 8 forza is 32, because this was 32 IP addresses and I divided it by 4 because this was the number of hosts. So if I divide that way also we can do that. If I have 32 IP addresses in this subnet and I'm dividing it by 4, so that automatically tells you that there are 8 networks. Or in the other way around, you can just see how many bits you're adding up to the given network bits, and from that you can calculate that how many networks you have. Okay, so we are going to have now 8 networks out of this one of the subnet. Now I have chosen this one. You can choose any of the network you can choose, and you can try to make it. So now out of these 8 networks, how many networks will be utilized, or how many still I will have plenty of addresses which I can use for my future purpose. So in this case, okay, in this case where I am doing more of subnetting, and that too variable subnetting. Okay, so I took 16.20.20.0/27. This subnet, I just took it, and I'm saying that I'm going to further do the subnetting with this. Okay, so I added 3 bits, 16.20.20.0, because my requirement is of only 4 hosts now. So /30 till 16.20.20.3, because we have total 0 to 3, that is 4 hosts. Now this becomes my subnet 0. Again 16.20.20.4/30 to 16.20.20.4 plus 3, 7. Now this becomes my subnet 1. So on and so forth. I'll go and write all the subnets. Subnet 2 to 16.20.20.11. Okay, likewise I'll have all the 8 subnets. Okay, so you can now see that there were only 4 serial links. When we saw in that network, there were only 4 serial links going to BKC. So now with that 4 links, now we can know that 0 is a network address, 3 is a broadcast address. So I can only configure .1 and .2 on my interfaces. So let's say we configure .1 over here and .2 in this network. Okay. Similarly, 4 and 7 cannot be configured. So I have .5 over here, .6 over here. Then again, .7 over here, not 7, .8 or sorry, not 7 and 8, .9, .10. Similarly, .13 and .14. So you can still see that, okay, we have only used 4 subnets. So by doing the variable subnetting, so now /20, we have this particular network in between the serial links. We have the /30, and for all other hosts which are sitting on the other side, we are using /27, though we can again do subnetting. So what you can see that we have used variable subnetting for designing my entire network. For one, I have used /27, for other I have used /30. However, I can also go and design and make use of /25, /26 based on the host requirement. So when you have in the complete network design, if you have different /mask, okay, prefix mask, so you say that they are variable length subnetting mask, okay, which is also known as CIDR, classless interdomain routing, or some also known as variable length subnetting. Okay, so now you can still see that 4 more subnets are left. So if I go and add few more branches, 4 branches, I can go and add more. So I can use those on the serial links. And apart from that, I had, so this entire subnet, okay, subnet 0, which was divided into 8 networks. So that is now gone. So in that 4 is left. Remaining now, how many was there? 4 was there. So again, you will use the 4 networks from the remaining /27, and still you will be left with few more in /27. Okay, so 1 is utilized over here. 4 you will utilize for /27. And then still 3 more networks you will have of /27. Okay, which you can further do and go and do the variable length subnetting. So in that manner, when you're using variable subnetting, you can actually keep a lot of resources for your future expansion and utilize all the IP addresses effectively. On the serial links, guys, just remember we are using only 2 host addresses, and the remaining 2 is for network and broadcast. So total requirement falls only 4 addresses over a serial link, not for any other link, only for a serial link. Okay, so now moving forward, okay, I'll just show you that again. So this thing which we have now discussed, this is also we have discussed subnet 0, subnet 1, how many host addresses are there in between. And this is how we are assigning the IP addresses to each of the interfaces, because .0, .31 cannot be used. So the .1 and whatever is there is used for this particular. So this was for a normal case. Then we went on for a variable subnetting. So variable subnetting requirement, because there is only a requirement of 4 hosts on serial links. So that's why we did what? We did the variable length subnet masking. So we took out one of this chunk and we tried dividing it again into different subnets, and then this is utilized for our serial links. So this is how we have now given the variable length subnetting mask, okay, to the links. Is it clear, guys? Anyone has any doubt in this? This is very, very important concept, guys. Any query, any questions, any doubt?
Ma'am, about the variable and subnet mask, like you have said that on your router, like say the host IP is 12, right? So on serial link, you just need, there are 2 hosts, you can see from the diagram. So,
Right.
Seeing the diagram, like we can straight go and do the variable length subnet mask rather than doing all those subnetting, right? Just
Exactly.
for host.
Exactly. But then it was initially important to make you also, like, there are many students who don't know like about the subnetting.
No, yeah, I understand that.
So for them, it was initially first we divide it into a fixed length subnetting, and then to make them understand that why that is going not good with this scenario. The resources are not utilized properly. So we have to go with the variable length subnet
So,
mask.
ma'am, on the other hand, like on the other router, MS, like instead of having a serial link connection, if we have a straight cable connection, will we be doing the same variable length subnet mask again?
See, variable subnet masking can be done for any case. Now, not only for serial link environment or for this kind of setting, I can also check that if I have a requirement of only 12 hosts, or if I have a requirement of only 5 hosts in any of these networks. So I can again go for a variable length subnetting. It is just that making utilization properly just based on the requirement of host. So it is not only that because we have a serial link, so we are going for subnetting. Even if we don't have a serial length, okay, if we have a normal normal connection which is going on, then still if there is a requirement of doing variable subnetting, then we can go forward with that also. Because here, see, we have 12 hosts, we have then your 24 hosts, 28 hosts, 30 hosts. Okay, so based on that, if I see the number of hosts, now these all will turn out to be the same. 30 means you will go with 32. So that means you will again require how many bits? You require 5 bits here. Here also, if you see 28, you will roundabout go with how many bits? You will go with 32. That means 5 bits again. Because that is how we have to, 28 plus 2 is 30. And for 30 means you have to go near to 32 only for getting the 5 bits. Similarly, here you see 24. Now with 24 means you have to add 2. That will again turn out to be 26. So again, here near is 32. That means I can have 5 bits. I cannot go with 4 bits because with 4 bits we'll have only 16 hosts, right? But however, here, if I add up 12 plus 2, I have only 14 IP address requirement. So with 14 means minimum I can have 4 bits here for the host. So this requires a slash of how much? What would be the length or the prefix mask for this case? If there is only 4 bits of host which are there, so what can I take slash over here? Yes. Sorry.
Slash
No.
28.
Slash 28. So you can see that I require a slash 28. I can go with the slash 28 for this case. For all this cases, I have to definitely go with slash 27 slash 27 slash 27. And then for these, I have already went to slash 30. So again, this is a variable length subnetting. I have utilized slash 28, slash 27 and slash 30. So there are 3 different subnets, subnet masks, I can say. There are 3 different subnet masks, and hence it is known as variable length. Yes, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, that's okay.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So let's see whether you people can go ahead with the questions. Now I have few questions for you to answer. So let's say I have this IP address given to me and I have a requirement of 4 networks. I want you to tell me which is the first valid host address and the second last broadcast address. Okay, 4 networks. So how are you going to calculate how many bits do we require? Yes, 4 networks, how many bits? Very good. Redan slash 26. That's nice. That's nice. Why? Because with 4-bit networks, you will require only 2 bits, 2 raised to 2 to represent 4. So you need only 2 bits. So whatever is given to you, you will add up 2 and make it as slash 26. Okay. So slash 26 will be your prefix mask. So let's start with the subnets. So you will have 4 networks over here. So you have 4 subnets. So subnet 0 starts with how much and how many hosts are there, that also you can calculate in each subnet how many hosts you will have. Okay, so with 4 you saw slash 26, right? Yes, how many hosts in each subnet? In each subnet we have 64 hosts. Very good. Very good. With each subnet, we have 64 hosts, right? So basically, because we saw 32 minus 26 is 6. So that means 2 raised to 6, which is 64 hosts I will have. Okay. So subnet 0 will start from 16.20.20.0 slash 26 till 16.20.20.63 slash 26 because we have 64 hosts. Then subnet 1 will go from 16.20.20.64 slash 26 till 16.20.20. You add up 63 here. So you will have how much? You will have 127 slash 26. Similarly, subnet 2, there are only 4 networks now. So we are in the 3rd subnet now. So 16.20.20.128 slash 26 till 16.20.20. Plus 63 you are going to add. So that becomes 171. And the last we have subnet 3, which is 16.20.20.172 slash 26. And you add 63, how much does it becomes? 16.20.20. How much 63 if I add? How much is going to be?
255.
Right. Just a minute, guys. 63. Okay, here I made one mistake. It is 191. And this is 192. And when you add 63 here, so that becomes 255. So now they are asking us the first valid host address. So which one is going to be the first valid host address, guys? First valid host address. Yes, guys, everyone. 16.20.20.1. Perfect.
1 to 62.
Right. Dot 1 to dot 62 are the valid host addresses. And we are asked the first valid host addresses. So we can say 16.20.20.1 slash 26 is the first valid host address. And now they are asking us the second last broadcast address. This is the last and this is the second last. So broadcast address they are asking us. So what is the broadcast address here in the second last? Yes, it is. This one is my broadcast address, right? Second last. So this is going to be 16.20.20.191/26. So even if I don't write all these subnets, okay, it is not required that I have to draw or write down each subnets. At the initial stage, you will require to do practice, but later on you can do it mentally also. Because now, since you have understood that the host requirements are 64, all my networks will be in the multiple of 64. 0 into 64, 1 into 64, 2 into 64, 3 into 64. So if I am asked, okay, the second last, so I just need to decrement by 1, okay. So 192 was the network address, so I just subtract 1, so I'll get the last second subnet address, or sorry, last second broadcast address. So this is how we do. Okay, let us take few more example. Let's see whether you people can work out independently. Now I have a need or a requirement of 6 host addresses per subnet. Okay, for the same kind of question, but the requirement is now from the host perspective, that I have a requirement of 6 hosts per subnet. Okay, so calculate, let's go and calculate what would be the prefix mask first. 6 host means you will add +2. Okay, always understand whatever is the requirement of host, you're going to take up +2. So 6 + 2 tells me 8 host or 8 IP addresses are required. And with 8, I mean how many bits I require for host? I require 3 bits for host side. And if I require 3 bits from host side, so I'll do 32 minus 3. That comes out to be 22 bits on the network side. So 29 bits on the network side. So how many bits I'm adding up here? I'm adding up here 5 bits to make it as /29. Can you guys tell me how many networks will I have for this IP or for this subnetting which we are doing? How many networks? Though this question is not asked, I would want to know how many networks we are going to have for this. Everyone, quickly, how many networks will I have? Very good. Sheikh, very good. Moin. Okay, so we have 32 networks, okay, because we saw that we are adding up 5 bits on the networks side. So we'll have 2 raised to 5. 32 networks I have, or 32 subnets I can see. I have 32 subnets starting from subnet 0 to subnet 31. Okay, I have 32 networks with this IP I can create. Okay, so /29 now this has been decided. So the first address will start from 16.20.20.0/29, and maximum I have only 8 hosts. Okay, 6 + 2 is how much? We have seen that we have only 3 bits of requirement, so 8. So that will go up to 16.20.20.7/29. So I've just written for subnet 0 because I'm asked the first valid host address. So that turns out to be 16.20.20.1/29. Okay. Now I want you people to answer the second last broadcast address without writing down the table. You know the multiples of network address now. How many hosts we have? We have 8 bits on the host side. So now you can go and do it in the multiples and check out what is the last network address, and then you will get the second last broadcast address. Quickly, guys. So 0 into 8 is 0, 1 into 8, 2 into 8. Okay. Likewise, you're going to go up to how many? You're going to go up to 31 into 8. That is going to be the last network address. So 31 into 8 stands out to be 228. Now this is the last. Is it the last? 31 into 8, is it the last, or 32 into 8? How much is 31 into 8? 8 ones are 8, 8 threes are 24. Yeah, sorry, 248. So 248 is the last, I can say the last subnet number 31. network address 248. So I am asked the last second broadcast address. So it has to be very good, Mayank. Very good. Very good. So it's coming out to be the 16.16.20.247, because if 248 is the network address of subnet number 31, which is the last subnet, then the previous one has to be 247. So the answer for this is 16.20.20.247/29. Okay, I hope everyone is able to go and calculate this properly. If anyone is facing any issue, please let me know so that I can just, help you all. Anyone, if anyone is facing any issue, please let me know, guys.
I'm having trouble to understand only this part. Like, how do you calculate straight away the second last broadcast?
Because see, what I see is that I know the network addresses are all multiples of the number of hosts. Okay, I have 8 hosts. I see that I am using 8 hosts, right? 3 bits means how many hosts I'm using? I'm using 8 hosts, right? Each network is made up of 8 hosts. And I understand from the given scenario what we have learned before, that all my network addresses are multiple of my number of hosts. Am I right?
Yes.
So I have first understood that how many networks I am going to have. So I understood that there are 32 networks or 32 subnets, starting from subnet number 0 to subnet number 31. So first address, network address will be definitely .0. Second will be 0. Since we are doing 0 into 8 here to get 0. For this, I'm going to do 1 into 8. Next, second. So this is my subnet number 1. Okay, let me just do it properly. So subnet 0, I know that it is having the network address in the multiple of 8. So 0 into 8. So that turns out to be .0. For subnet 1, I will do it as 1 into 8. So my network address is going to be .8 for the subnet 1. Likewise, if I continue for subnet 31, which is going to be the last subnet. So for that, I have to do 31 into 8. That turns out to be .48.
Yes.
Right? These are my network addresses.
That's the last, and the second last will be the -1.
And the second last is going to be the previous one. So it has to be .47.
It's clear. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Fine. So one more question we'll take, and let's see whether now you are able to do it or no. Okay. One more example I have in my slide. Let's see whether you can work out with this. Let me see who can do it. So now they're saying 1,000 hosts per subnet. You people have to go and add +2. So that will turn out to be 1002. And with 1002, how many bits you will require? Just go and check. 2^1, 2^2, 2^3, 2^4, 2^5 is 32, 2^6 is 64, 2^7 is 128, 2^8 is 256, 2^9 is 512, 2^10 is 1024. Okay. So 2^10 is 1024 means you will require how many bits on the network, on the host side? On the host side, you will require. So you have 1024 host, I can say. And that means actual was 1002. But since we know that this is nearby, that is 1024 host. So I'll require only 10 bits from the host side. So if there is only requirement of 10 bits on the host side, I know that how many bits will be left now? 32 minus 10. That is going to be 22/22. So I'm going to add 6 into this so that it becomes /22. This 6 is going to tell me how many networks I will have. So in this scenario, how many networks are we going to have it, guys? Quickly tell me fast how many networks we have it in this subnet. Very good, Moin. 64. Very good. Because we have seen with 6 bits, that means 2^6. I'll have 64 subnets, because this is important to understand how many subnets we have. So we're going to have 64 subnets starting from subnet number 0 to subnet number 63. Okay. Now you can go and start with the addressing. So now you're dealing with which octet? You're dealing with the 3rd and the fourth octet. In the previous two example, it was the last octet in which we were dealing. Okay. Now we are going to deal also with the, so each network, now each subnet, 64 subnets, and each subnet should have 1024 host. Okay. 1024 host. So you have to now think how you will give it 1024. Okay. With dot zero, okay, 16.0.0.20.0 to 16.20.0.255, you just have 256 host. Okay, because this is only 256 host. Now if you see 1024, you just go and see whether 256 can be taken as a multiple of 1024. So we see that 256 into 4 will give you 1024. That means I have to again take 16.20.1.255 and 16.20.2 here it should be 0 and here it should be 255. So likewise, from the middle octet or from the third octet, the value will go from 0 to 3, and for the last octet it will vary from 0 to 255. So maximum from this, I have 4 into 256. That will turn out to be 1024. This is something a little different from the previous two examples, because in the last two examples, we were all dealing with the last octet. But as in when it goes to the previous third or the second octet, things become a bit difficult. Okay. So how do we go ahead? I'll explain it again. We had a requirement of 1024 host. We understood there are 64 subnets because the remaining bits was taken as the network bits. Okay. So now, since the requirement is of 1024 host and we are starting with 16.20.0.0, so I can see that with 0.0.0 to 0.0.255, this turns out only to be 256. So likewise, I have to have 1.0, 1.255, 2.0, 2.255, 3.0, 3.255, and then totally it makes up one subnet. That is subnet number 0. Okay. And there is something interesting. I can simply give you one more technique for solving this. The technique is that, okay, the technique is that since you said 16 plus 6, that is /22. And the shortcut is that you see that you are taking only 6 bits from the third octet. You're only taking 6 bits from the third octet, and the remaining 2 bits are left. So with that remaining 2 bits, okay, you have already taken 6 bits from there, and you are left with only, okay, you have taken 6 bits out of the 8 bits. You have taken 6 bits. So you are left with only 2 bits now. And with 2 bits, you can maximum have 4 values, which can go from 0, 1, 2, and 3. So that means 16.20.0.0, okay, to 16.20.0.255. Sorry, 16.20.0.0 to 16.20. Since maximum we can have 3 over here, .255, this will become my subnet /22 will become my subnet 0. Okay, guys, is it clear? Okay, most of you have given the answers also. Okay, so I'm just explaining it. So this becomes my subnet 0. Likewise, I have how many subnets? I have 64 subnets. So the first valid host address is now understood. The first valid host address is going to be how much? 16.20.0.1. Okay, 0.1 is going to be the first valid host address /22. Now let's go and check out the second last broadcast address. Then this is something very interesting, because second last broadcast address you need to see for both the octets. Okay, now we are dealing with the second last octet or the third octet. So in that case, if you see, we are going with the multiples of 4 now. Okay, now next we'll start at 4. Okay, and then the third subnet will start at 8. So according to this, okay, 0 into 1, 0 into 4, 1 into 4, 2 into 4. Okay, so the last subnet would be 63 into 4. Okay, so the last subnet number 63 will have the third octet to be having a value of 63 into 4. Okay, and 63 into 4 is how much? Just check out. 4 3s are 12, 252. So the 252 dot, it will start with 0, and maximum it will have till 255.255. Now this is the last subnet. So we are asked now the second last broadcast address. So what would be my second last broadcast address? It should be 251.255/22. How many of you could get the answer? Very good. Very good. Only one person has got the answer correctly. Okay. Anybody has any doubt here? Do you want me to explain this again?
Yes, ma'am, please. If you...
Is it understood, or you want any explanation on this?
Yes, ma'am. Can we please?
Yeah, sure, sure. See, don't think that I will not explain it again, because I know this is something new, very new for most of you. So even if you're facing any challenges here to understand, please ask me again. I'll explain it. Okay, let's start from the basic. I have 1000 host requirement. I'll add up 1000 plus 2. That becomes 1002. Now with 1002 means how many bits I will have? That is the next question. Okay. So I know that we always go with the base 2. So base 2 raised to 0, then I'll go with 1, with 2, with 3, till the time I get this value greater or near to 1000. So I'll see that when I go and change this 2 raised to 4, 5, 6. So maximum I go and see that with 2 raised to 10, I'm able to have 21024 as a value, because 2 raised to 9 gives me 512, which is lesser than my value, and 2 raised to 10 is 104, which is nearly approx to my value. Okay. If I go to 2 raised to 11, that will be more than that, 2048. So that is not going to be perfect. So this is something which is falling perfect. So I understand from this that I have only 10 host bits requirement. So if I know there are only 10 host bits requirement, I'll just go and do 32 minus 10 to understand how many network bits I'm left with. So I'm left with 22 network bits, out of which /16 was already given to me. So how many I have to add? 22 minus 16, that means 5. Sorry, 6. 22 minus 16 is 6. So I need to add 6 bits, and that will turn out to be /22. Now this 6 is of essential to know how many subnets I'm going to create for this given IP address. So the number of subnets, whatever you add for the given, with the given network bits, whatever bits you are adding, that is important for you. So this will tell you about the number of networks or the number of subnets. Okay. So that means I have with 6 bits, I can have 2 raised to 6. That comes out to be 64 subnets. And since we know the subnet numbering starts from 0, so we have subnet 0 to subnet 63 in place. Okay. So now I guess this is decided how many subnets we have, how many hosts we have, and each subnet will have 1024 host. Okay, because we just turned out that 1002, but we have taken up 1024. So each subnet will have 1024 hosts. Okay, this many requirement now we have calculated. Now we have to start designing or writing down the subnets. So we know that we are now in the second last octet or the third octet. Because we say /6 bits we are using from the third octet. Because 16 bits are already given or covered, we are taking 6 bits from the third octet. So if 6 bits are already taken from the third octet, so remaining 2 bits are left for the host bits. And from your remaining 8 bits are there for the host. So 8 plus 2 makes up 10 host bits. So if I have only 2 bits from the host side here left, so how many values I can go from with the 2 bits? With 2 bits, I can have maximum 4 IP addresses. So it will start from 0, 1, 2, and 3. So my IP subnet for subnet 0 will start from 16.20. The minimum is going to be 0.0/22. And since I know with 2 bits, I can maximum have 4 values. So I'll go with 16.20.3. And with the remaining 8 bits, I will have maximum 256. That means since I've already started with 0, so I'll take up 255/22. So if you just go and see, you have taken 4 values from the third octet and 256 values from the last octet. So 4 into 256 gives you total 1024 host addresses or IP addresses. Okay. Now this becomes very simple to understand that this is how it is. If I was given, let's say, more requirements like 20, if I would have given a requirement of, let's say, 4,000 hosts. Now, I guess this doubt is clear, guys, how we got the first subnet. And now, since we were asked about the second last broadcast address, the first valid host address will definitely fall from 0.1 because this is my network and this is my broadcast address. So .1 to remaining 3.254, they are all my host addresses. Okay, that means -2 you can do. So 1022 host addresses, they are valid host addresses. Okay, so .1 16.20.0.1/22 becomes my first valid host address. Now coming back to my second last broadcast address, because I cannot go and write all the 64 subnets. I need to be mentally able to do that. So how am I doing it? Because I know that now this is varying in the multiple of 4s. Okay, 0 ones are 0. Next we'll start from .4.0 16.20.4.0/22. This is going to be subnet 1. So I see that my network address in the third octet is coming out to be multiple of 4s. Okay, so I can just see that since my subnet 0 was having the third octet. Okay, we are discussing now about the third octet. So the third octet, the first address was 0 into 4, which was 0. The first octet was 1 into 4, which was 4. Similarly, maximum I have to go till 63 subnets. So now I'll have 63, that is the last subnet. So if I go and do 63 into 4, this will turn out to be 4 3s are 12, 252. So that is going to be my last subnet, third octet value. And definitely it has to start with 0, just because we know that we have to start with the 0 only. This is varying from 0 to 255, 0 to 255. So the last subnet will start with 0. Okay. So just before, that is the second last. Okay, the second last. So second last means just before means you have just completed 255 here and just one less than 252, which is 251. So you get the second last broadcast address as 16.20.255.22. Am I clear, guys? Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. If you're clear about this, can you go and try out for if I have a requirement of 4,000 hosts for the same IP address? If I have the requirement of 4,000 hosts, can you just tell me the same question? Reply me the answers for this for a 4,000 host. First, decide how many bits you will require for the host side. 2 raised to 10 was 1024. 2 raised to 11 was 2048. 2 raised to 12 turns out to be 4096. Okay, that turns out to be 4096. So how many bits we are left now? So 12 bits. Okay, for 4,000 host requirements, we require 12 bits, because with 12 bits we can have maximum 4096. So with 12 bits on the host side, okay, now 32 minus 12 I'm going to do. That turns out to be how much? That turns out to be 20. So I need to go and add +4 into this. That turns out to be /20. How many subnets will I have, guys? How many subnets here I'll have? How many subnets or networks?
16.
Very good. 16, because we are left with 4 bits. We are adding 4 bits. So 2 raised to 4. So I'll have 16 networks. So starting from subnet number 0 to subnet number 15. Okay, so this is going to be my 16 networks. So now since we are in the third octet, you're taking from the third octet 4 bits. You're going to take only 4 bits in the networks, and the remaining 4 you're keeping or giving it for the host. Okay, 4 bits have already been taken up for the network and only 4 bits are left with the network or for the host. So now your first value will start from where? It will start from definitely 0.0/20, but then tell me where it will end for the subnet 0. 16.20. Where it should lie. If you now get that idea, will it be 16 or will it be 15? What it should be? Very good. Very good. Since you know now with 4 bits, I can have maximum 16 values. But since we are starting with 0, we'll only keep your 15. And the last one is going to be 255/20. Now, in order to verify whether your answer is right or no, you know that the third octet, there are 16 values and the last octet, there are 256 values. Just go and try multiplying 256 with the 16. Okay, so 6 6 are 36, 33, 1536, 256, 4096. Okay, so you can just verify your answers again perfectly whether you have done properly or no. Now, since this is my subnet 0, I see that my subnet third octet is coming in the multiples of what? Which multiple is it is going to be? Third octet. Third octet is going to be multiple of what? Yes, it's going to be multiple of 16, right? Because it's going to be multiple of 16. So I just need to check out the last subnet. Okay, so subnet 0, 0 into 16 is 0. Third octet we are talking about. Okay, subnet 1, 1 into 16, that is 16. And how many maximum subnets I have? 15. So 15 into 16, how much does it turns out to be? Just check out. 15 into 16, that's going to be 90 and then 15, so 245, right? 245. So dot 245 is going to be my last, it's going to be my last network address. Okay, last network address. 16.20.245.0/20 till 16.20.255.0/20.
Ma'am, it's 240.
Sorry. Yeah. So the last second subnet is going to be 16.20.239.255/20. Right. Okay. So it's 239.255. I hope now you people would be able to do it even if I give it for the second last octet. So we have now understood how to answer if it belongs to the last octet or second last octet or the second octet. Anything if it is, the calculation pattern goes in the same way or the same logic. Is it now clear for everyone how to go? And these are the kind of questions you may expect, okay? Number of host addresses, number of networks, broadcast address, network address. Very good, very good. So if everyone is clear about this, so you people have successfully understood the concept of networking. Okay, this was very important. Majority of the time people don't understand this. We'll take few more examples in the next class. Okay, I have few more questions on subnetting. So I'll end the session here itself. I know we are not going exactly, or I can just tell you where we are lagging now. I see this as our something which we had set. Okay, so we were supposed to start with the IPv6 or subnetting was supposed to be covered in the day 4. Now we are on the day 5. So we are just lagging a bit, but I feel that these concepts are very important. I just cannot rush for the sake of just completing all these concepts. So some topics require some more time, and I hope you people can understand that, right? Okay. So if anyone has any questions, guys, we can take those questions. Else we'll have tomorrow first half an hour. We'll discuss more about subnetting, and then we'll go with the new topic tomorrow. Okay. All right. No questions. Everyone has understood perfectly.
No questions.
Okay. Fine then, guys. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, ma'am.
Meet you tomorrow.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.